This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon and welcome to the pre-trade deadline edition for 2022. Kind of regarding literally what's about to happen tomorrow or not to happen tomorrow with the Edmonton Oilers. Now, I flash back because honestly, the last time I've been through this whole dealio, 1920, right? With last year, Dmitry Kulikov, forget about it. It didn't happen because last year didn't happen. Mickey Mouse, right? That's what everybody goes to claim. So I'm going to claim it was Mickey Mouse and didn't even wipe it from the history books. I'd prefer to wipe last year from the history books myself as well, other than what I did at work all last year. That said, my friends, my goodness, we find ourselves in a situation where we're back in a regular season, regular trade deadline. Life is grand. Well, yeah, for the Edmonton Oilers, it is. The roster's getting very healthy. Things are looking up like it is. The Oilers have not been this good since they were this good at the start of the season, right? That is before Dave Tippett just kind of said, I'm going to take an early retirement. This team's capable of coaching itself. I can just do whatever the hell, send whoever I want over the boards, and it don't matter. This team's built to win. Well, then we learned we weren't built to win. Then we had to acquire Vander Kane. And then all of a sudden, goaltending became a glaring issue. Everybody said it was. And several things later, Jay Woodcroft's now the head coach. The Oilers have won 5 games in a row, twice under him. We're like a point or two back of second place in the Pacific Division. And right where I told everybody we were going to be at the end of the season, 1-2 with Calgary. Okay, grand. So trade deadline, what do you got to do? Well, goaltending, defense, offense, prospects, picks. There's a lot to be done, absolutely, right? We have no picks, apparently, is the mantra. We have a ton of prospects, which, again, name 5 prospects that anyone outside of the Edmonton Oilers fan base in the NHL is like, man, that Edmonton Oilers prospect is really good. Can't name a single one because nobody outside of the Oilers fan base is talking about the Oilers prospects as per usual. That's fine. That's dandy. Hey, you know what it is, what it is. We grow some good guys here and then others are Tyler Benson, but that's a different story. So you get out here, right, and you're looking at it right now and you're trying to wonder what the heck can the Oilers do at the NHL trade deadline to improve? Well, I had a quip on Twitter, and this is a very good line. If you're looking at improving forward depth, if you are Ken Holland, you got to remember what your definition of forward depth is. Your definition currently as the Edmonton Oilers is forward depth is Devon Shore. I'll tell you what I don't want to trade for at the trade deadline. More Devon Shores. I'm hard good. He's been playing excellent of late under Jay Woodcroft. Not getting that wrong. Not slamming Devon Shore. Devon Shore players are not a needle mover like we're trying to get at the trade deadline. And when people tell me the Oilers need to improve their forward depth, we got to remember that the definition of forward depth for the Oilers is a Devon Shore. And if you're going to tell me, okay, yeah, we should be looking to add forward depth, and then I remember, no, like we've already got a Devon Shore. I don't need 2 of them. Well, right, there you go. That's what scares me is guys go out there, oh, yeah, improve the 4th line. Guys, the last time we tried to improve the 4th line, we got Kyle Turris, Devon Shore, and the likes. Colton Seaver. That's the kind of guys the Oilers tend to gravitate when we're talking about improving depth, right? Tyler Ennis, Andres Athanasiou of deadlines past. You get where I'm going? What's his name? David Desharnais back in 16-17? Bring a name out of the past, right? There's a lot to this where a lot of what's previously happened for the Oilers scares the heck out of me to think, oh yeah, that's what I want the Oilers to do. So you move to improving the left-hand D position. Well, you know what? You look at Troy Stetcher, you look at Robert Haig going to the Florida Panthers, and you're like, oh yeah, for a 6th or 7th round pick, we could definitely get somebody that's a decent option. Those guys are literally 7th defensemen, which is what Chris Russell is, which is what anyone we have in the 3rd D left spot is on this Oilers roster currently. Philip Broberg, you could argue he's a top 6 D man. Sure, the guy's got the talent. He's got the skill. He's not ready, and he's injured. So, oh boy, right? Like, yes, upgrades. But are they physically actually upgrades? No, they aren't. And that's a little bit of a dangerous situation. Is I'm sitting here, don't make a move, because I just physically can't handle moving laterally anymore. It's not that I don't want the Oilers to upgrade, don't get me wrong, but upgrading is a different thing than what everybody's asking the Oilers to currently do or saying the Oilers are going to currently do, right? Everybody in the mainstream media is saying pretty much what I'm calculating is a lateral move, not a move up. And that, quite frankly, I'd prefer to do nothing if that's the case. I'd prefer to ride this roster because they've just won 15 of the past 16 starts by Mikko Koskinen? I'll take my chances. Dude, I'm going to take my chances as many times as I can because Dmitry Kulikov is not the guy that wins you a playoff series, quote unquote, last year. So you get where I'm going with this insane ramble is it's just very simply, I don't want to move laterally. And I think that's realistically the only thing the Oilers can do because they don't have the picks to really move. Yeah, okay, go trade your first round pick. Guess what? We get bounced in the first round. Fans are going to be upset that we traded our first round pick. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation if you're Ken Holland, because you go out there and you make a big splash and you fail. Now you look like a clown for failing. You go out there and make a big splash you don't go out there and don't make a big splash and you do something or nothing in the playoffs, doesn't matter, and you look like a clown for not trading your first round pick. Either way, you're a clown, right? Obviously, yes, playoff success. But here's the last agenda on the item order, right? We can talk about prospects, but I've already told you my feelings on that. Goaltending. Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen with a little sprinkle of Stuart Skinner. Oh my goodness, yes, that's the answer. Well, technically that's going to have to be the answer. Maybe Harry Sateri from the Toronto Maple Leafs on waivers today might be part of the answer because chaos ensues. I don't know. Peter Mrazek? You want a chance at Peter Mrazek? Sure. But, realistically, the three guys we have now are probably going to have to be the three guys that solve this right now. And the reason I say that simply is you are dealing from a position of such a disadvantage that there is no way you can possibly win any trade involving a goaltender if you were Ken Holland. This is not he should have made the move earlier in the season. This is not he should have done something in the offseason. You were backed into a corner the second Jacob Markstrom went to Calgary, right? That is quite literally the second the Oilers' goaltending situation, even currently still, was put in the desolate position it is. And, right? Okay, so there's upgrades available. Go trade for them. Who in their right mind is going to be like, Edmonton's offering me a trade for the goalie? Dude, if the Oilers get a goaltender, they could win the cup. Who in their right mind is going to give the Oilers a goaltender to win a cup with? Who in their right mind? What planet do we think we're on that we're just, hey, Ken Holland should just be able to go zippity-zappity, boom, trade for a goaltender, and away we go to a cup. Well, I'm sorry, there's 31 other GMs in the NHL, or there should be every season, trying to win the Stanley Cup. And if you're looking at it realistically, even if you're looking to get assets back, you do not want to be the GM in the NHL. And I don't care if you're 5 years into the job, 2 days on the job, 25 years in the job. I don't care who you are as a general manager in the NHL. Guys, the fans of the NHL roast the Oilers. Can you imagine what every other management and ownership group thinks of the Edmonton Oilers, who still haven't won a cup in year 7 of Connor McDavid? And who in their right mind would be the idiot? There isn't a Peter Chiarelli anymore out there waiting to, hey, Oilers, here you go. Here's Marc-Andre Fleury for a 7th round pick. There is nobody just waiting to give us a gift horse for nothing to go ride to the Stanley Cup final. There isn't. Because honestly, who wants to be the idiot that gifts the Edmonton Oilers a Stanley Cup? I don't think there's a single GM out there that wants to be that guy. I don't think there is. And that's a kind of depressing, hardcore, terrible look at it. But honestly, right? If you're an Edmonton Oilers fan who has taken the crap and abuse that has been everything since 2006, and all of a sudden the Oilers have a decent season. They're playing in a competitive division, and they're winning under a new head coach after suffering some hardships to start the new year. You think that at the trade deadline of all times, if it hasn't happened already, some GMs just rolling out the red carpet to a Stanley Cup final to the Edmonton Oilers? I don't think so. And that's no fault of Ken Holland's. That's a position you've built yourself as the Edmonton Oilers. It started, yes, back when you lost Markstrom to Calgary. You can argue that 100% sure. But it's a position you've been building since 2006. Nobody wants to be the idiot that can be pointed at and said, that GM made a bad trade for his team, which gave the Oilers the cup. I don't think that anybody wants to be that idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, you have yourselves a great afternoon. I did not plan on getting this worked up on a Sunday, but hey, you're not going to hear from me tomorrow, so have a great Monday, and I'm going to go crush it at work for the first time since Tuesday. You guys enjoy.